For 1WRESTLING.com, the voice of choice here. This is some of the cast of One Wrestling Radio, heard every single Wednesday from 5 to 7 Eastern Time, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on 1360 WNJC, and worldwide at 1WRESTLINGRadio.com. And on the program today, King Magnus, we had Tony Atlas, who's going to be part of Jimmy Superfly Snuka's birthday bash, May the 7th, Somerset, New Jersey, the Garden State Exhibit Center. Get your tickets right now at JimmySuperflySnuka.com. Tony Atlas talked about something near and dear to your heart, and that is a match that he had with Hulk Hogan back in the 80s.
Yes, for all of you wrestling fans, please make sure you go out and try to track down the footage of Hulk Hogan versus Tony Atlas. One of the best spots is when Atlas lifted Hulk Hogan over his head years before, before Hulkamania and before WrestleMania 6. So check it out. He lifts Hogan up. The crowd goes wild. The entire match was great, but of course that was the spot of the night. So make sure you guys go find that footage and check it out.
King, Tony talked about, now we've had Kamala on the show who talked about racism in wrestling. Tony said quite the opposite, saying that Hulk Hogan was really the first non-ethnic person to become really successful as a superstar because all the different races and all the different ethnicities are what drew the fans out. I can't talk today. It's just that kind of a day. You had the Samoans, you had Jimmy Superfly Snuka, you had Tony Atlas, Rocky Johnson. Oh, God, the list goes on and on and on. And Hulk Hogan was the first real non-ethnic person.
This is true. It's weird because you definitely do believe the stories in which you heard about racism. We know that Kamala was sincere about his experience, but at the same situation, at the same time, the contrast in life is that there were others who had, just a totally different experience. So, for some it was unfortunate, for others they were still blessed.
Well, think about it. Even Bruno Sammartino was a Sicilian. He wasn't a typical non-ethnic white male. And so you hear those other stories about racism in wrestling, but Tony Atlas, very, very unique perspective. Bob Backlund, obviously, another kind of non-ethnic type, but Bob Backlund really didn't get over with the fans as much as Hulk Hogan finally did.
This is true, and we all know the story of Bob Backlund. We've mentioned that. He was, as some may call him, the John Cena of his day.
John Cena versus The Rock with next year's WrestleMania. King Magnus, or do you feel the excitement?
Yes.
Now, I want to talk one more thing before we go here, and that's the retirement of Edge, because as kind of on the fence as John Cena is with the fans really either love to love or love to hate Edge, and it really was always what Edge wanted you to do. Edge was the kind of guy that if he wanted to be a heel, he would be an over-the-top heel, and when he wanted to be a face, people loved to cheer for him. And I think Edge was kind of hurt by the whole WWE shift to PG because he was the rated R superstar, and I think that when WWE went PG, it kind of took some zing out of his character. But Edge, it's a very, very, very big shame that we're losing Edge's in-ring skills, so hopefully we get to have him around as behind the microphone.
I definitely agree. Him retiring from wrestling will be a loss, but like Bill mentioned on the program earlier this evening, if they put Edge behind a microphone or in a manager's position, he will be able to perform, at the top level capacity, and that's what they need. We need more managers.
Check out today's show, One Wrestling Radio, at onewrestlingradio.com, or you can actually check out the archive broadcast on onewrestling.com as well. Hear Bill Apter's sentiments on that. Hear the cast of One Wrestling Radio's sentiments on Edge. And we want your thoughts, too. We'll read them on the air next week. Leave them in that comment box somewhere around here or on the YouTube comment box. We will try to get to as many as we can. And for onewrestling.com, the voice of choice, King Magnus, AC Smooth, I don't know where he's at, but we're out. We'll see you next time.